You already have a mindset. The question is it serving you and your goals? Unless you've had your own business before, you're most likely not going to have all the elements of an entrepreneurial mindset. Don't be discouraged. In this 3-episode series, I'll be covering the 5 traits you need to have an unshakable entrepreneurial mindset. When we talk about a mindset, it's the established set of attitudes held by someone. The idea here is to train your brain to think the way you want it to think. In the 70s, a researcher named Carol Dweck discovered why some kids did poorly after failing, while others excelled. She found 2 types of personalities, 2 types of mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. The kids who did poorly, they thought they were bad kids, they're stupid, they couldn't learn the material. While the kids who did really well and were able to excel after failing, they thought of failure as temporary. The kids who did well after failing, those with the growth mindset, they thought of failure as feedback. And if they learn the material, they can do better next time. Guess which mindset is better for entrepreneurs? I don't know if nature or nurture determines our personalities and mindsets. I'll leave that to psychologists to make that determination. What I do know is that I wasn't born with these 5 traits I'm discussing today. As a matter of fact, when I look back in my earlier days in corporate, I didn't think I had those traits either. They developed over time, especially as I got involved in startups. But I think we all capitalize on aspects of our personalities, whether it's something we're born with or something we've acquired over time. For me, I'm mostly left brain. I love checklists, I love setting goals, and I'm analytical, among other things. Those come natural to me. For you, it could be different. So it's important to capitalize on your strength. And also, it's important to surround yourself with partners and staff who will complement your strength, as I will be discussing in future episodes. Some skills you might have a natural inclination for. You might be a whiz at persuasion. You might be really good at getting people to agree. You might be really good at public speaking. But maybe you're not as good at data. And when you look at a report or a graph, you want to scratch your eyes out. This is nature, the things that we're drawn to, and we just seem to be really good at, whether it's playing music, whether it's art, whether it's leadership, public speaking, you name it. But as a founder, you'll need to learn a lot of skills. And I want to take a second here and say, every skill is learnable, every skill. And this is the other side of the coin, nurture. Just because you don't have a natural ability to do something, it doesn't mean it cannot be developed. Michael Jordan was cut from his JV basketball team, but he worked harder than anyone else. Maybe you'll never be able to dunk like Michael Jordan, but it doesn't mean you cannot improve your skill set with deliberate and consistent practice. I mean, if I, of all people, can learn sales, then anyone can learn whatever skills they're not good at. Don't sell yourself short. With consistent and deliberate practice, you'll learn the skills you need to grow and scale your business. Now that you know the mindset of learning, let's go over the 5 traits you need as an entrepreneur. 1, get stuff done. 2, be comfortable with unknowns. 3, be thirsty for learning. 4, develop a high sense of commitment. And 5, resilience. Get back up right after you fail. Trait number 1, get stuff done. There's a lot out there about grinding, hustling, or crushing it, as Gary Vee says. It is just the willingness to work hard and not to give up in front of challenges, especially at first. Imagine scraping pennies, going to a city you can't afford to stay in, and losing your laptops and all the leads and sales information you had. This is what happened to my partner and I when we started the business. There was a conference in Chicago. We could barely afford to fly and attend the conference. We couldn't pay for admission, so we bought the exhibit pass. This way we could walk around the exhibit hall and speak with leads. Back then, the laptops were very clunky. They were heavy. We had these little rolling suitcases where we dragged the laptops everywhere we went. We set a goal to speak with every exhibitor. We were selling marketing services and e-commerce websites. We figured every exhibitor who was selling products and services would benefit from e-commerce. We were there from doors open till about 10 o'clock at night, and we spoke with every exhibitor in that hall. Some of them were very receptive, some of them were very welcoming, and some were just mean. It was very awkward. See, they paid a premium to be at this booth. We had no booth. We were acting like we had one, and we were dragging along our clunky, heavy laptops in these suitcases throughout the exhibit hall. So yes, we were worn out at the end of the day, but we learned a lot of things. One, we learned firsthand from our target audience, those vendors who are selling products and services. Second, we got 20 leads. And third, 2 of those leads were hot leads that ended up buying from us. A funny story here is that it was the end of the day, late at night, we were starving. We took a cab, we asked the cab driver to come back in a couple hours and pick us up. We get in there and halfway through this late dinner, we thought of the unthinkable. Where are our laptops? We forgot our laptops with all the leads information, all the sales information, everything we had about the business was in those laptops. And we panicked. So even after a very long day, we're exhausted, we're trying to enjoy a meal, we panicked because we could lose our laptops. Luckily, the cab driver came back, we checked the trunk, the laptops were there, and he took us on the airport. Yes, he took us to the airport from the restaurant because we couldn't afford a room at the hotel at the time. The best part of this trip, after all the hard work, flying in and out without having money to book a room, is that within a week of this conference, we closed those 2 hot leads and we have 2 e-commerce clients now. We couldn't have been happier. All that hard work paid off handsomely. This is the hustle. When I started the business, I didn't sign up to go and walk around an exhibit hall for all day. I didn't sign up to struggle and mumble in front of exhibitors. I didn't sign up to drag a clunky laptop around an exhibit hall. But that's what it takes. At times, you have to do whatever you can to get leads and close those leads. We had a dream to grow the business and a need that kept us going. That's what pushed us through the blocks. That's the hustle. Okay, so far we covered the mindset of hustling. Next, we'll cover getting comfortable with unknowns. And don't forget to give back. Today's thought is, schedule a day where you and your team go out to a food bank and help those in need. If you like these tips about entrepreneurship, about how to grow and scale your business, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd also love to hear from you about how you hustle and how you grow your business. Leave us a comment in the comments section.